Not far from the stream, a backpacker caught up with me. We sized up the best spot to cross, and he quickly moved ahead. It was entertaining to watch him fade on the horizon and gave me a good sense of how well my legs were doing. I could walk a little faster, but not much. Almost an hour after my encounter with the backpacker, the dirt roads became less muddy, and about half of that time remained before I could reach Puebla de Sancho Pérez. It was still a beautiful day. I found myself thinking a lot about my legs. It wasn't planned or intended, but they had become an important part of my journey. Along with the exhaustion I felt at the end of each day, they influenced how long I could walk, which town I had to stop in, whether I had time for meals or exploring the places I arrived at, or whether I need extra rest to recover for the next day. Life had become much simpler. By focusing only on the essential parts of my day, each one felt even more meaningful. So, I was talking about my legs to acknowledge them as an essential part of my day, not to complain about any pain or discomfort. I had been very happy and grateful for everything that had happened so far. Hello. Following the advice from videos I had watched, I prepared as much as I could for the Camino, but I realized quickly that although prepared, I was never fully in control. That gave me a profound sense of acceptance. I was accepting everything the Camino was giving me, just as Sabine described her previous day as remarkable instead of awful. And that's one of the beautiful things about it. The Camino is very open, available to everyone. It can mean different things to different people. For some, it's simply a hike. For others, a spiritual journey or a time to reflect on life. It can be religious, following specific beliefs and practices, or deeply personal and spiritual, offering a chance for inner growth and connection. Many find meaning in the traditions, rituals, and symbolism along the way, from carrying physical burdens to leaving rocks behind as a way to process loss or grief, or even leaving the older version of yourself behind. It is also a time to ponder important questions, to reconnect with oneself, or simply to challenge both body and mind. To me, I walk the Camino to be fully present, while challenging my body and mind. I also brought a bunch of questions, seeking inner growth. I went to reflect on life, to connect with others, and to reconnect with myself. Well, I guess I had a lot of my mind that day, and not only about my legs. As I walked and saw Puebla de Sancho Pérez ahead, I thought I should have a good meal to go with another anti-inflammatory pill and take a proper break. Puebla wasn't too far from Zafra, so stopping there felt like a good way to save my legs a bit. When I arrived at the main square, I saw some pilgrims around and the Italian pilgrims leaving town, turning onto the street where the parish church of St. Lucy is. As I entered the square to take some pictures, a pilgrim I hadn't met yet came up to me. He recognized me from his conversation with Sabine and told me she had left moments ago. I went into a bar, and while resting and waiting for a burger with the most orange yolk I had ever seen, I carefully thought about my stay in Zafra. My original plan was not to schedule my stays in advance, but I decided to change that from now on, prioritizing rest in a good place and take care of my leg. I also decided to be cautious and stay an extra day in a bigger city, just in case. After taking another pill, I had a nice chat with a Belgian backpacker I had passed earlier while he rested on the side of the road. Arriving at Zafra, my destination for today. I will take a rest day here to take care of my leg. It's going super well after I took the ibuprofen. At this point, I started feeling the familiar tiredness. Not far from the castle, I bumped into Sabine, Ed, and Odette. They had already arrived and were outside seeing, and I was really happy to see them. I mentioned before that I stayed in hotels on the last 2 nights, though in reality one was a hostel, a budget hotel with a simple private room and bathroom, and the other a pension, an even simpler guest house with a shared bathroom. Albergues are perfect when you are feeling well, giving you a bed, a shower, and maybe a kitchen or a place to take care of your clothes. Small upgrades like a hostel or a pension can be particularly useful when you are exhausted, sore, nursing an injury, or just need some time alone to rest and reflect. When I entered Zafra, I was still walking a bit slower than usual. My legs were sore, but less so than before, and I felt less exhausted than in previous days. Normally, Even an albergue or a simple hostel or pension would have been enough. But since I had an extra day to rest, I booked a proper hotel, hoping it would help me recover even more. The hotel was an even bigger upgrade than I expected. A restored 18th century palace right on a square in Zafra's historic center. After I was well settled and had a shower, I went out in search of a supermarket. It was still siesta time, so I had to wander around for a while, which was nice but also painful, and I was walking very slowly at this point. Eventually, I returned to the Palace Hotel and spent some time enjoying the views from the top. Later, I headed out again for a complimentary drink the hotel had arranged at a nearby bar. It had been an incredible day.